Hey, welcome back to the channel, All Things Business. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Boy, have I got a good one for you tonight. Man, thank you for out there. Thank you so much. If you can, hit the like button for us. If you can, hit the subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, it's got a lot of great material on here. And please, 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 please leave a comment. And if you can't, hit the notification button. I greatly appreciate those things. Not necessarily in order, but thank you. And if you got some friends you want to text real quick to let them know we're live, that'd be super great. Appreciate you guys so much. Tonight, my subject is 8 laws to create wealth. Write that down. 8 laws to create wealth. And I'm going to talk about how I've created my wealth over the last 36 years. I'm going to go some deep dive on some stuff. And there are 8 major laws. The laws are something that you can't, it makes sense. Laws are something you don't go against. Laws are laws. The law of gravity, I don't care how, it's just laws. It's just what it is. So the first law I'm going to talk about tonight is the law of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is a gladiator sport. Yes, it's a gladiator sport. And it starts with owning and having a business. It takes tough skin. You got to be ready. It's a lot of opposition. It's like, as John Maxwell says, like rolling a stone uphill, because it takes a lot. It's not like a job. It's going to take a lot of commitment. The law of entrepreneurship. Remember, to get wealthy, it starts at home. What do you mean by that, Al Thomas? You get wealthy at home. Write that down. You get wealthy where? At home. At home. What you do from 9 o'clock in the morning a.m. to 5 p.m. is your job, your job, okay? You get wealthy from 5 o'clock p.m. into 9 o'clock p.m. in the evening. So you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you got 4 hours in the evening to get wealthy. And today it's easy to do with Zoom. Think about it. With Zoom, you could be anywhere in the world from the comfort of your home. Back in the old days, when I was building wealth, I had to get an airline ticket, hotels, go out afterward the meeting, get meeting rooms, hope and pray people going to show up. Now everybody today can work their business from the comfort of their home as an entrepreneur, which is amazing. And unfortunately, a lot of people get lazy behind that because it's a little bit of commitment. But it's powerful. Think about it. Tonight, I'm in several different countries, and I'm in 40 or 50 different states, United States and Canada, Mexico, and across the water. So it's a beautiful thing. So you get wealthy at 5 o'clock to 9 p.m. is what you do. So that's how you create wealth. You create wealth in the evening. Let me say it another way. You work in the day. You make money in the day, right? That's a job. You make money in the job. That's right. But you get wealthy when you sleep. What? I never heard that before. Yeah, that's how you get wealthy. Wealthy people know that. Most people have no clue. And I'm so glad you're here tonight to hopefully pick up some tidbits that's going to help you become wealthy from this time and beyond. Other people create businesses like network marketing. I love network marketing. Matter of fact, I have on this channel where I believe everybody should be in network marketing. And let me tell you why. It's a great training ground. I've had people get in network marketing, learn a lot of business, and have springboarded into other businesses. You'll see on the channel, I've got a lady out in Hawaii. Her and her husband, now they own 12 different insurance agencies and offices around the world because they started with me years ago at age 17, 18, and 19. Now they're one of my 21 millionaires. I got people that's one in construction. You'll hear about him. He'll be on the channel, Mr. Jeremy Benji. I've got a lot of people that springboard. Jordan Adams, another one. I mean, he's number one in another network. I mean, so many people. He has started in network marketing. It's a great, great training ground. It teaches you about people. It teaches you about commitment. It teaches you about ups and downs. It teaches you how people really, 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 truly are. And not only that, most important, it teaches you a lot about you. And it's not for crybabies. Yeah, it's a great place for training. For example, I built a real estate business because why? I was in real estate. It teaches me a lot about people. It taught me a lot about objections, and you have to understand it's a great, great training ground. So you have to understand creating wealth is in the evenings once you clock out and you clock back in the next day. And if you clock out on Friday, you're not making money Saturday nor Sunday. So have a business that makes you money. In my opinion, I like to make money 24 hours, 7 days a week, like Bill Gates. For the last 36 years, I've been getting paid every second, every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, decade 1, decade 2, decade 3. That's 24-hour money. And that's the power of network marketing. unlike most business, you make money when you sleep. Now, number 2 law, okay, the number 2 law, the law of starting. The law of starting. Number 2 law is the law of starting. What do you mean starting? Start, get going. Starting. There we go. The law of starting. You start small. When I got in real estate, I read every book out there I could find. I mean, I read the books. You know, one of the books I read was one of the things that got me started when I lived in the Bay Area, in the San Francisco Bay Area, was a book by Bill Tycoon Green. And I just ordered this on AB Books called Think Like a Tycoon. I'm trying to get it without the glare. Think Like a Tycoon. And Bill Tycoon Green lived in Mill Valley, and he would teach people from his place in his beautiful home up in the hills of Mill Valley, outside on the grass. He was a hippie yippie. And he would teach people how to buy real estate with no money down. And I thought, wow, this is great. I'm a kid. I was 18. I said, let me read his books, and read his books. And man, I read his books, and it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna practice. Watch this. I practiced what I learned. Bought my first duplex in Oakland, paid $18,000, $3,000 down back in those days, old FHA loan, took over the payments. A kid, didn't know anything about real estate, and knocked on the door to collect rents. They looked at this 18-year-old kid. What are you over here for? I'm the new owner. I did everything wrong. I'm the new owner. Pay me. Here, come back Friday. Come back Friday. So I learned a lot. Trust me. But here again, I started small. The law of starting. And when I got never marketing, guess what? I started with 0 IBOs, 0 people, 0 independent agents. And, I started with zero. And I went to work to make my dreams come true because the law of starting. Was it easy in the beginning? I started my little office in Sacramento. I had a little real estate. I started with 5 or 6 people in my office there. I had a couch to seat 3 people and 2 fold-out chairs. And from there, I went into my garage and I kind of painted around, made nice walls, and got 2 big spotlights and 25 fold-up chairs. And from there, I went into an office space on Fair Oaks Boulevard, and the rent was $850. But I had to start somewhere. You see what I mean? So I grew it and stuck with it. So the law of starting. See, it's new to most of us because it's uncomfortable. Write that down. It's uncomfortable. The reason why most people don't start because they want everything the easy way, the easy road. If I go to work 8 hours and get paid for it, no. Network marketing, real estate, you got to roll your sleeves up and put the work in. Your back's against the wall. Guess what? You got to continue going. There's nobody there, your cheerleader. You have to become your own cheerleader. And that's why you have to surround yourself with other successful people, great books to read, and great mentorship, which we'll be talking about in just a few minutes. And next, also starting the law of starting is open up to learn. Be receptive, be open to learn. Be open to learn. The only way a parachute works is if it opens up. Open up to learn what you don't know. And when you get around successful people, by God, be quiet. There's a reason why the good Lord gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. 2 ears to listen twice as much as you talk. I never talk around successful people. I'm there to learn. I got my recorder. I'm taking notes. I was out with a gentleman a couple of weeks ago who has a channel over in England. I was so proud to get in front of him through another friend who's also has a channel. And I sat there. I bought him lunch and bought his wife a gift. I was there learning. I was all ears. I was asking question after question. Because why? I'm curious. Be curious. Get around your leaders. Be curious. But listen to their answers. This is very important. So you must take small risk. Think about it. A lot of us are not trained to invest in ourselves. Let's be honest. We're trained to put in a 401k and hope and pray in 30 years it's going to be there. Oh God, I hope that did good to my stock return. And then have you noticed your 401k is down to a K? I'm sorry. But think about it, because why do you not invest in you and you do your own investments? I don't have a 401k. I invest my own. Because I learned how to invest. Most people, Warren Buffett said, I've never seen people who drive up to Wall Street in a Rolls Royce and hand their money over to people on Wall Street that take the subway home in the evening. Folks, learn it. Learn it. It's your hard-earned money. Learn it. I bought real estate, learning by reading books and then applying what I learned. And yes, I made mistakes. 18-year-old kid trying to collect rent from a duplex, and then looked at me, got full adults and 40 years old looking at this young whippersnapper knocking at the door. I learned. After I graduated from the School of Hard Knocks, I learned what to do and what not to do. Well, how'd you do that, Mr. Thomas? I read more books. I went to real estate seminars. I wanted to know. I was curious. I took all this information to make me a better person. And from that day, I parlayed my empire into 54 properties and a hotel. Bought a hotel on a credit card. How to do that? I learned because I was open and receptive to. So you must take small risks. A couple $100 start network marketing. It's nothing. It's a write-off. You haven't lost anything. But here again, a lot of us don't understand that. We're not trained to invest in us. You know, I always said, Mr. Kenny Trout, my billionaire mentors, he always said this. He said, you got to look at the upside and look at the downside. Unfortunately, most people are trained to look at just the downside only. Mr. Thomas, I don't have a few $100s to lose. Mr. Thomas, why do you say lose? Go with this, with the avenue and mindset as an entrepreneur. Number one, become a winner. Learn. So always go to work. It's risk. What's risk? A couple $100? Spend that on a weekend or a nice time out, but invest back in yourself. See, the things I learned through these books and times and tapes and everything, I'm still utilizing to this day. My beginner mentor, Kenny Trout, I'm still listening. I still can hear nuggets of wisdom that he gave me over 30 years ago. Wow. And the principles, or laws, principles and laws are the same. They still work today. All right. Now, the law starting. Look what happened. Look what could happen for you. Let me show you Kenny Trout. And here's my mentor, and there we are on his jet. That's his jet. There we are together. See that? Now, watch this. And the lady, that's he had a lady on the plane that served us our beverages and food and lunches and stuff. I flew around with with him for years on his own private jet before I got mine. But I learned a lot from him. Matter of fact, if you see the shirt I have on, we're going down to the ranch. I've took a lot of my leaders to the ranch. We had a lot of times. But I just want to show you some things because I want you to understand the law of starting. And if you stick with it, you can succeed. See, leaders understand that a few of us will make it to the top because we don't let nothing stop us. We're laser, write this down. You must be laser focused. On the hottest day, let me see. You got to be laser focused. The hottest day, I could take a magnifying glass on the hottest day, do this to a piece of paper, and it will never burn it. Because why? It's not focused. But the moment you slow it down and focus, that paper will catch on fire. Now, let me tell you about Kenny Trout. Because he motivated me, and I was the law of starting, and I made a decision. A decision not to quit. So I went out and bought my first plane. I bought a 414. Matter of fact, here's a picture of it. That's it right there. You can see me out there in front of it with my shorts on because of 24-hour money. Matter of fact, I loved it. I didn't learn how to fly until later. And I actually was so busy making money that I hired a pilot. I want to show you some pictures. What are your dreams? What are your goals? What are your admirations? You know, and after that plane, there it is, another picture of it. 6 passengers. I had a lot of fun. And a lot of times, my pilot, I'd sit up in the co-pilot seat. And you can see it there. I had a blast. I was so busy building my empire, the law of starting. And I loved it. And I said, one day, why not? I could afford it. Why not? And I should take my leaders. I did contests. And I said, if you did so much volume or whatever, I would take you, we'd fly up. I mean, many times I'd do a contest from Sacramento, have a plane, we'd fly up to Reno for the night, go to a show, a nice dinner for people that were producing in my organization. And here's a picture of some of my, there we go, some of my people on my plane going up to Lake Tahoe for the night, go have dinner, a nice show, back on the plane, limo back, take us back. These are things that anybody can do. Now, wait a minute. I've got no formal education. I had the law of starting and not quitting. Now, because of that, and I sold that plane, I went and bought another one. And here's the Gulfstream. And there's my 1995? There's my plane and my little Mercedes SL. So I stuck with it. I was focused. Matter of fact, I was before I was married years and years ago, and took my family over to London. One of my goals, my wife said, "Hey, let's go get some Burberrys." So we flew over to London, took the family. We all bought Burberrys. Going to London on it. Oh, here's that picture. I'm sorry, wrong picture. They were all our Burberry on. Even my son. We all went to London on the plane to get Burberry outfits. So what am I talking about? The law of starting. The law of starting. Matter of fact, I would take people up to the ranch because and we take the helicopter up. And I took one of my best buddies up there with me. Matter of fact, here I am there next to the helicopter. I fly into Dallas, and we take the helicopter from Dallas up to the ranch until we put a runway in. And here's one of my best buddies. He got started with me in the business, and he did well. And I did a contest. And we took the helicopter up, and many times we had that outfit on. And then here I'm taking him out that evening on the helicopter. Well, what am I saying? I want you guys to understand you got to start, and you got to stick in there. And then as things start increasing for me because the law of start, number one, the law of entrepreneurship, because I had it in my blood. I knew I wanted it more, and I'm willing to go work sun up to sundown. And then the law of starting. And then I said, well, Gage, you know what? I want to buy a mansion. I wrote this down on my dream board. I want a mansion. And I started visualizing what it would be like to have a mansion. And then I saw what I want. I wrote it down. And then I went to work to make it real. And I bought this 8,000 square foot mansion, several bedrooms, 4 or 5, yeah. And set on acre land. I bought several Mercedes. Matter of fact, got this picture. There's all three of my Mercedes, all the same color. Two seaters, 300S, 500 SL, and a 4-door to match it. Why? Why did you do that, Mr. Thomas? Because I could. I wanted. Matter of fact, you know what I did with the cars? I did, here again, I'm about contests. My leaders drove around in my cars as they won a contest. I gave them to them for a week. Now think about it. You had a car for a week, a brand new Mercedes, no plates on it, brand new. Yeah. Yeah. And guess what? It's a car. It's insured. I mean, if you think about a car, it's a Mercedes, but when a car goes in an accident, they melt it down, they reform it, and they do it all over again, don't they? That car's probably made of 20, 30 different cars if you think about it. But we get so possessive. See, with a closed fist, you can't give, receive. The more you give, the more God will bless you. And I was at the Mercedes dealership with Chip. Matter of fact, I got a picture of him somewhere here. And I saw the 4-seater to match. The 4-door, I said, put a bow on it. And I'll take that home too. Because I got into my dreams and I started and would not stop. Here I'm in front of my mansion with 2 of my Mercedes. The other one, I think, was out in the garage. And here's another picture of the mansion. Circular driveway. And it's funny, when I drove up to the house, you can't see it, but on top of the house, it had a pyramid. And then one side of the driveway had a pyramid over here and had another pyramid on this side. And I drove up and I told the real estate lady, that's my house. She goes, what do you mean? You never been inside that place? I said, ma'am, it's got Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And I ended up buying that house. Matter of fact, the house was so big, when my daughter was born, we had to put bells on her shoes so we know what part of the house she was in. You know, what a blessing. What a blessing to take the helicopter, get behind there and fly around. What am I saying? Why not you? You can do these. I am nobody special. I'm a guy that understood the law of starting, the law of entrepreneurship, the law, we're going to go into it. And I got so big in my organization that one of my guys, Mr. Bill Contreras, God bless him, out of San Diego, there's me and Marlon Jackson, Michael Jackson's brother, got started in the business with me. And we built a great business together. We go out to dinner in San Diego, sushi place, everybody, oh, Marlon Jackson, Michael Jackson's brother. Guys, I have been around so many successful people. But here's the blessing. Think about this. Think about this. What if you never got started? Whatever business that may be. Because as you stay focused, God's going to send people your way that you will never ordinarily meet. I just stayed focused and true to what I was doing. And my billionaire mentor, I listened to everything he had to share. All right, let's move on. That was law number 2. Let's move to law number 3. The law of investing. The law number 3. The law of investing. Investing. Very important to learn how to invest. Invest, number 1. Invest into yourself. You're the most valuable commodity. Everything revolves around you. So you have to have the law of investing in you. I know. Your mother said you never, yeah, I know. But you got to shake all that off and cut that biblical cord and start believing in why. Invest in you. And as I started being successful, I gave 10% to the kingdom. Yes, I did. 10% to the kingdom because he's my partner. You can't cheat your partner. You cannot cheat your partner. Not that partner anyway. No, not that partner. And I gave 10% to helping other people. The law of investing back in people. Having my organization do things. Giving things away in my organization to build them up. To let them taste the nectar of the blessings of the fruit. You know, let me drive my car. Hey, taking them to different places. At resorts. I took care of that because I wanted to invest back into my organization, into making things happen for them and let them say, if I can do it, you can do it. You know, also invest into education. What do you mean education? And invest in books. Invest in books. Invest in books. You know, my mentor, Peter J. Daniels, his book, The Awesome Power of Public Speaking. Let's get that glare out of here. And there I'm on the back cover when I had hair. Because I invested into wanting to know. Let me tell you a story. I wanted to meet Peter Daniels, and I used to bring in these guys to San Jose, you know, famous Amos, Dennis Waitley, all these speakers, you know, Lee. I mean, we brought them in. And I invested in that with a friend of mine, Mark Duncan, dear friend to this day. And we brought a lot of some of the greatest people in. Wayne Dyer. We brought in. I used to have a whole wall in my office with all these guys and girls we brought in for the motivational. And one day I said, you know what? I want to meet Peter Daniels. And I got a phone call. Hey, Mr. Daniels is going to be in San Jose. And I lived in Sacramento. And I was taking flight lessons at the time. And I said, you know what? He's going to be there tonight? What did most people say? Well, I'll catch him next time. Why do we always do next time? When an opportunity arises, you must take full advantage. So being an entrepreneur, law number 1, entrepreneurship, I got on the phone. I called my flight instructor. Name was Terry. I said, Terry, hey, listen, let's take your practice, because we had the 152. I was learning on a little 2-seater. He had a Bonanza, which was like a 4-seater. Can we take your plane? I'll pay for the gas to fly from Sacramento down to Oakland, right? I'll pay for the gas. And plus, I was taking flight lessons, so I get the hour and a half for flight going there. And I'll take care of that. Called a buddy of mine up, Lamont Harrison. Hey, man, let's get dressed. I put on a tuxedo because after all, I'm going to go meet who? Peter Daniels from Australia, Mike. And I read his first book, How to Be Happy Though Rich. And I was just amazed as a Christian. I was like, wow, this guy, I got to meet this guy. And I put it out there. So this particular day, we took the plane down. I had my partner. We had a limousine service in the Bay Area. My partner, Aaron. We had a limousine service in the Bay Area. So I'm an investor. He ran it. When we started, he ran it. He quit PG&E now. Well, anyway, I said, listen, I need a limo there. Pick me up at the private airport. 3 steps out of that plane, his Bonanza, on red carpet with my friend Lamone, into the limo to go meet Peter Daniels in Hayward, California, the hotel. I came in the door, tuxedo ready. The meeting's going on. He was on stage. His eyes looked at my eyes, and we clicked. And I said, he looked at me as I walked alongside the edge of the wall there, and he kept looking at me. Because here again, I stood out. Let me ask you a question. Do you stand out where people want to recognize and know who you are? When you walk in a room, do you light it up? And after the meeting was over, I stood there on the side because I know people are autographing, want to take pictures with them. And I just stood waiting patiently for 30, 40 minutes till the crowd just dwindled down. And I walked over to him. I said, Mr. Peter Daniels, my name is Al Thomas. Sir, my chariot, my limousine, outside awaits to take you and your wife anywhere you want to go, back to your hotel. But before we do that, sir, I will be an honor to take you out to dinner. How many have you done that to? Leaders, people that you want to meet, or your leaders. Show the love, show that you appreciate them, pay them for their time in a way, pick up the tab. And that day, sensed it where we were friends. And that's why on the back cover of his book, Ivan went to actually invited me to come over to Singapore to join the International Board for Christ, Youth for Christ. On that night, we became friends. But through the course of the next year or two, I got invited out because of that. Folks, are you going out of your way to stay understanding to invest in yourself? So here again, books, courses, audios, tonight even, picking up some tips tonight. Very good. So I took my course in the 80s just to learn. And I kept learning and learning and learning. And I talked about this recently about Mary Kay Ash, a powerful woman who I talked about recently. I did a call for about 58 women on a women's organization to have me come and talk about it. So I used her as an example. She was an example because she got looked over promotion. We're talking about in the 60s. So minorities and women had it hard. And she decided to start Mary Kay Ash Cosmetic. And she borrowed $5,000 from her son. And we know the history of Mary Kay Ash. But one thing she said, which I like, and I'm going to talk about investing in you. She said 3 things that was very important, her success with our cosmetics. She says, number 1 was time management. Write that down. Time management. How's your time going? You notice we show up on time? Time management was number 1. Number 2, she believed in hard work. See, that's another key about entrepreneurs. We do not stop until the work gets done. This is not a 9 to 5. This is your life. This is your brand. This is who you are. This is going to say a lot. What you put in today will reflect for the rest of your life. When I started every business, guess what? We don't start to make money. We start to invest into building long-term residual and build a net worth. Wow. And Mary Kay Ash said number 1 was time management. Number 2, she said, I believe in hard work, ladies. Matter of fact, she started the first 5 a.m. club. Let me explain that to you. You see these guys, 5 a.m., get up 5. No, she did it way back in 1963. Because she said, women, we are hard workers. I have so much appreciation even after studying her, even before studying her biography. How many biographies are you studying? Successful people. She said, ladies, we're a mom, we're a wife, we have the house, we got kids, we have a job maybe, we have to take care of the husband, we have all these hats they wear. She says, we don't have enough time in the day. And women, you know what I mean. You don't have enough time. She says, therefore, let's start getting up at 5 a.m., start our day. So we're up a couple hours early to be able to accomplish all the hats that we wear throughout the day. And I said, wow, I had such a deep appreciation because a lot of times we don't understand what women have to do, juggling all these 10 hats in a day. So she said, let's start at 5 a.m. And we have time to do our own business. Excuse me. And because of that, she created wealth. Before she passed away, I had a stroke and passed away. Let me tell you what she did. She created 1.6 million independent business owners that expanded in 37 countries. And over 35 women were millionaires because of that lady. I have a deep respect for her. And my first company, Excel Communications, was based in Dallas. And I'd drive down the highway, the tollway, and I'd see her building, big, beautiful building with the nice waterfalls and the marble entryway. She started in 1963 because she was looked over. And she understood the law of investing in who? Herself. So you need to have the law of investing in you. I'm showing you stuff that I've done. What could you do if you turned around and started investing in you? My goals are my goals. Your goals are your goals. So number 1 was time management. Number 2 was hard work. Let me tell you something. Hard work never killed anybody. Stress will kill you. I never seen anybody as I visit them in the hospital on their deathbed or hey, I wish I had more time at work. No. Their hopes and prayers were, I wish I had more time with my family. My family. My family. Tell you another quick story. Speaking of deathbed, this guy was on his deathbed. He was about ready to pass away. And he just thought for a minute, oh my God, if I would have just changed the people in my state, I could have changed the world. And he thought about it a little longer. He said, no, if I had changed the people in my city, man, that's it. That's it. I could have changed the world. And he thought about it a little longer. Oh my God, I really got it. I got the idea. If I only changed the people on my block that I live on, I could have changed the world. And just before he passed away, he thought about it. Oh my God, I really got it. If I only changed myself, I could have changed the world. Folks, it's you. It starts with you. It's you. It's you. Not your sister, not your brother. It's you. It's you, oh Lord. It's you. How bad do you want it? So number one, she said what? What was it? Time management. That's right. Number two, hard work. And number three, she had a strong belief in God. Not just a belief, but a what? A strong belief in God. Wow. 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 What a powerful woman. Number one, time management. Number two, hard work. And number three, a strong belief in God. And you know, the thing about Mary Kay Ash was this. When she went to these rallies and meetings and giving Cadillacs, pink Cadillacs and fur coats and all this, whenever somebody would approach her, she would listen to them. And she would just focus on that one person as if they're the only person in the room. And after that person complained, you know what she'd say to people? She would say, so what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? How are you going to solve the problem? She bounced it right back to you. Wow, powerful woman. Anyway, so time management, hard work, and a strong belief in God. See, time management, you must have the balance. Wealthy people know how to manage their time. You know, I say no more often than I say yes to a lot of things, because if it's not going where I'm going, I don't have time for it. I don't have time for it. You know, I remember Mr. Oh gosh, I can't think of his name at the island. Gosh, I can't think of his name right now. Richard Branson. He would turn down $500,000, $1 million to speaking engagements. He said, I wouldn't do that because it's wasting my time. It's not taking me where I want to go. So stay focused on things that where you want to go. And if it's not in alignment, don't put the time in it. I say more no's than I say yes, especially to people with activities outside of your goal and where you want to go. Okay, let's move on to law number 4. Law number 4, the law of purpose. Oh my goodness. The law of what, Mr. Thomas? Purpose, purpose, purpose. You must have to have a purpose for the goal. What's your purpose? What's your purpose? Law number 4, law of purpose. What's your purpose? Why you're here? What's your purpose? What's your mission? What's your assignment? What's your goal? What's the purpose? Why do you want the money? What you gonna do with money? Just to have it? No, you gotta have a purpose behind it. That's why you don't have it. But without a purpose, you'll never get there. You got to have a purpose, and you got to have a purpose to make you kick the covers off your bed in the morning and put your feet on the ground and run out, get going. You got to have a purpose, not just to make money. You got to have a why. Write that down. You got to have a why. You got to have a what? A why. Why do you want this? What's your purpose? You must have a purpose for the money, not just to have money. You'll never get it because there's no purpose behind it. Most people don't have a purpose for the money. This is why most people will never get wealthy, because they don't have a purpose for the need for the money, not just to have money. So ask yourself this: what's your purpose? Just to have money? Oh, now I get why I haven't got there, because I don't have a strong enough purpose behind the purpose. Wow. See, with the right mindset, you can obtain it. Let me give a purpose. Here again, I'm just talking about me. That's why I'm doing a deep dive and show what drove me to be successful. When I was 16 years old, I was going down to Floxworth and Fulmer flower shop. I would go there on Saturdays for a couple hours, help out. And I was I was San Francisco, catching the 25 bus on 25 Bryant, going to catch the 22 Fillmore down on Mission Avenue. That's right on 5th and Mission. I can still remember. And I was a little kid, 16 years old, helping out on Saturdays, delivering flowers. And this guy had a red Ferrari pulled up. And I was like, oh my God, a red Ferrari. And he got out, and I was right there. He's getting ready to put money in the meter. He's pulling up to a meter. And I'm sitting there going, I'm just gasping like, oh my God, whoo. And he got out. He had a suit on. He put the jacket over his shoulder, and all I could see, B-R-O-N, Brioni. Brioni suit. And he had diamond cufflinks on. I said, oh my God. And guess what I said? One day, I'm gonna have those things. I was purposely driven. I wanted what he had. And guess what happened one day? I bought a Ferrari. It was black. I bought the Brioni suits down in Wilkes Bassford in San Francisco on Sutter. The cheapest suit back, let's just say I went in and bought my first suit, and I tell you what, I walked in there one day, I only had a couple dollars. I had no idea it was high end, still high end. Suits in there back in those days were $5,000, $6,000, $10,000, $15,000 suits. Only person I knew had those suits regularly was Willie Brown, was the mayor. Then, anyway. And I walked in there one day, and I was blown away at the prices of the suits, and I was like, But guess what? One day I went in there like I owned the place, and they had suits on sale for the new ones coming in. I think I paid $2,500 for that suit, that Brioni suit. It's a great suit. Had it for years. Would never get rid of it. I hung up just to watch it after I couldn't wear it. Got a little bit big. And I got the cufflinks with my initials on them, half carat each. My purpose. I was purposely driven. Yeah, 375 Sutter Street, Wilkes Bassford, still around today. Their suits probably 10, 20. I mean, let's put it this way. Yeah. So that was my mindset. When I bought the mansion I showed you, part of my mindset. They're on Hammersmith Lane, mindset. Peter Daniels, Monamita, mindset. The limo, mindset. These are things that set me up because I had the mindset and the purpose to go after these things. Now, let's move on to the next one. Number 5, law. Number 5, law. Okay. You ready? Laws. Number 5's law. Number 5 law is the law of mentors. 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 I study people who have gone where I wanted to go. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. I study. Didn't read I study. What do you mean by study? I don't just read a book. I read it with a highlighter, a pen, and I write underneath. I bend the pages back, and then I'll go back with a journal, and I'll take notes. I'll take notes on what stood out to me, and then I will reread the book 1 time, 2 times. That's called studying. Some people said, I read a book. Okay, what'd you learn? Nothing. Study it. The Bible says study to show thyself approved and a workman worthy. And once a year, my certain books on my desk here, I reread again. I study them. I study successful people. Mary Kay, I studied Mary Kay. Bill Tycoon Green, I studied him. People who are successful in the field I want to be in. Remember I said I studied Bill Tycoon Green because why? He was someone who I want to emulate. I want to learn how to buy real estate with no money down. Yeah, I was 18. I want to learn. I don't have any money. What can I do? I studied. People out partying, having fun. I was studying because I knew my future was going to be upon me because I want to be an entrepreneur. So study successful people in the field that you want to go into. In network marketing, I studied the best they had there too. They can show you what they did and how to avoid the pitfalls, folks. Turn their Bluetooth off, turn the TV off. All the TV's going to give you is a red eyeballs and a hollow head. I hate to say it that way, but it's the truth. How much time you're studying the traits of things you want to succeed today? By planting a seed today, you get the nourishment tomorrow. And if you do the planting right, keep the weeds away, give it sunlight, and give it fresh air. Before you know it, over a few years, 10, 15, 20 years, like a tree, you can sit on that tree and keep the shade for the rest of your life because it'll take care of you. I hate to say it, not your 401k, because you don't learn nothing there. Remember this, take the good parts of what you study. Take the great parts of what you study. Take it out. There's a lot of things your mentor, you may see that you may not like. Don't worry about that. We all make mistakes. I've got 21 people I'm coaching to millionaires. I make mistakes, but don't put them up here to a point of not understanding. We all make mistakes, but take the good of what they're training you out of and utilize that. We all make mistakes. So don't worry about their mistakes. Learn what you can gain out of what they teach you. You know, we all can learn to improve, including myself. We all can. So take out the good. So who are you studying? I had 3 billionaires that trained me. That's why I'm blessed today. And I studied them. And I still have respect for them. I have homaged them. Because without these three, and along my parents, I would not be where I'm at today. And I knew how to build an organization. I know how to talk to people because I studied what they do. Write this down if you're taking notes. School is never out for the professional. Why? Because we're always learning. A year or two ago, you think I'd be having a channel? But I had to study the best. And I studied the tulips of Mr. Clemens. I studied the people who know what they're doing. Don't be arrogant. Learn. Don't let your ego get out of the way. EGO, edging God out. Learn. Because the world is evolving so fast. Are you on, or are you going to get left out? Especially with today with AI. You realize that 85% of most jobs will be gone in the next 5 to 7 years because of AI? And it's evolving as fast and faster. It's scary. So you need a backup. Mentors. They can help you with new ideas. I get calls from some of the people I train. Hey, I'm just talking, I got an idea. See, they can see things that you can't see because they've been around long enough to experience things you have no clue to. Don't look at their weaknesses or their faults. See their strengths. I like that guy, but or she was. We all make mistakes. So here again, don't look at their weaknesses or their faults. Look at their strengths. Why is that, Mr. Thomas? Because we're all human beings. We're all human beings, folks. We are. We're all human beings. All of you on here, you're human beings. We're all human beings. So here again, Kenny Trout was one of my first billionaires. Let's move on. Law 6, the law of a burning desire. Law 6, the law of burning desire. The law of a burning desire. Not the desire, a burning desire. That means it's all shit up in your bones. That means when your feet hit the floor in the morning, the devil runs and tells his minions, run, she or he's up, run. This morning, the devil got so upset he ran and knocked over 3 of his minions because I woke up and my feet hit the floor. See, that's a burning desire. I get up with excitement. I get up with anticipation. I get up with high energy. And I get up with, I'm just vibrating at such a super high energy level. What about you? Oh, another day. Oh, no. What's that? The donkey Lior? Oh, no. Another day. No, you got to get with a burning desire. You need a burning desire and stay focused like the magnifying glass. Stay focused. Stay focused. You must stay on track or you'll be pursued to be knocked off track. Do you realize every time you get on a plane, the pilot gets off that much, an inch? Let's say you're leaving Vegas and you're going to Phoenix. He gets off that much. Guess where you end up? Oklahoma. Because after a while, you got to stay on focus. You got to stay focused. You must be willing to make a pursuit of your desired goals. What are your desired goals? What drives you in the morning? What gets you up? What gets you excited? What gets you vibrating at such a high level that people, when you walk in, like, man, there's something special about this girl or this guy? Do they feel your presence when you walk in? Is there a statement about you? They say, wow, this person, I don't know where they're going. A burning desire. Entrepreneurship is a gladiator sport, like I said earlier. We understand it's not easy. Of course not. But you got to have that burning desire. You must be willing to pay the price. You must be willing to pay the price. You have to. That's what entrepreneurship is all about. Entrepreneurship is lifting yourself up a little bit better, further than most people will go. Because most people, I read it today, it was President Bill Clinton says, once you give a person a paycheck, you took out all their desires. It's crazy, crazy. So you have to have a burning desire, okay? Number 7 law, the law of enriching others. The law of enriching others. Number 7, the law of enriching others. Now that you got the wealth, now you got the knowledge, now you got the how to, now you got the know what to do, how to do it, how to help yourself, like they say on the airplane, put your mask on first before you help somebody else. So now that you got what you need, now you have to turn around and enrich others. Like in a baton race, you got to be able to pass that baton to the next person, which is, look, with a closed fist, now you got the knowledge, okay? You got the knowledge. With a closed fist, you can't get any more. To give, you got to be able to receive it. So you must touch other people's lives. To this day, I've helped 21 other people become millionaires. It's not about big-headed. It's about who have you helped? What is your track record? What does your scorecard say? Who are you helping? See, God made us all to be champions. But the only way you become a true champion is, what does your track record say? Who have you helped? Who can testify? What does it say? What's your scorecard say? Why? To raise others to be champions. I was put here to make others be champions. But once I got it, my job was to help others become champions, to follow me, and so they can prosper and they can turn around and like a waterfall, and they can bless other people and other people. For generations, your kids and grandkids, you should be able to make and help create generational wealth. As I look at Peter Daniels, all his kids are successful, his grandkids. Here again, it's generational. It's generational. Who do you love enough to want to make that happen? You got to enrich others. You got to enrich others. Proverbs 13:22 says, a good man / woman leaves an inheritance for their children. Children. Not just their children, but their children's children. Have you thought about who you're leaving it back to? Have you created enough wealth where it makes it easy for the next generation and the next generation? The wealthy people, the Rockefellers, AP Gen, they have generational wealth that some of them have never have to work because they all put in and it just keeps perpetuating itself through trust and, oh yeah, oh God, yeah. Wow. It's called generational wealth. All right. Last law, law number 8. The law of assisting God. Oof, that should have been first. But what reason why I left it last? Because the first shall be last, and the last shall be what? First. There you go. The law of enriching others. The law of God's assistance. I'm going to tell you, he's my partner. Like I said earlier, he's my partner. The law of God's assistant. He is my partner. Romans 8:31 says, if God is for us, come on, who can be against us? So once you understand your purpose, and the source, where your source is, you can't help but succeed. Do you know that you know that you know? He is the source, and he made it available to you. I started with no money. Now think about it. I started with no money, acquired 54 properties and a hotel on a credit card because of my source. Why? I dug into what the books, the leadership, the learning, the never stop learning. Deuteronomy 8:18 says, the Lord your God is for it. He's here to give you wealth. He gave you the power to get wealth. Let me say it again. He gave you power to get wealth. Now, what most of us don't understand, you got to get off your assets, get it? Assets to go get it. It's not going to just come to you and fall in your lap. No, you got to go get it. And you can get it. I'm telling you, it's abound everywhere. Everywhere you go, it's bountiful. It's very bountiful. But the question is, let me ask you this. How bad do you want it? Will you drive more miles, see more people, make more calls, stay up late, get up early? That's what it takes. Look, what you do for them from 8 to 5, that's their business. I always ask people, what business are you in? They always want to identify what business they're in by their job. No. That's not your business. Listen to me. That is not your business. That's your job. What business are you in? What I mean by that, let me give you the definition. It's what are you doing from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock p.m. That's your business. What you do in the mornings, pay the bills. But at 5 o'clock, what are you doing in your business to create wealth for you and your family, for generational wealth? And that's, folks, I'm going to tell you something. That's why I've never had a job. And I'm grateful and thankful. And I don't take it lightly. I took it because I listened to these 8 principles that I've given you tonight. These are laws, 8 laws. 8 laws. These are the 8 laws to create wealth. And not only that, generational wealth. To be a millionaire, if you listen to these things, if you apply this for 4 years, it'll change by changing your mindset, understanding financial literacy, and role modeling successful people. You need to understand the law of money. And that's something they don't teach you in school, the law of money. Wow. You get that outside. And that's what I study. Successful people, successful people, successful people, successful people, successful people. You know, if I can do this, my dad was a military sergeant. He was a DI. Guys come off the bus, he'd whip them in shape like Sergeant Carter. I'm aging myself. My mother took care of us. I was the oldest. I was the head of the ringleaders. I was the ringleader, the oldest, with no formal education. I went to college a couple of years, left. You heard the story, left there. And I went to see my college counselor. I want to be I was so dumb. I thought they had class on becoming a millionaire. I looked at the M, they didn't have it in there. And I went to go see her. I said, "Where's the class on being a millionaire?" She says, "What? Are you some kind of idiot?" "No, ma'am, I want to be a millionaire. I'm looking under the brochure, under M's, there's no class on millionaireship." She says, "You're serious, huh?" I go, "Yeah, I am. I want to be a millionaire. Where's the class at?" I was how dumb I was. She told me to get the I'll say it here. She told me to get the hell out of her office. And it dawned on me, she was caught in that trap too. She was caught in that trap. Years later, I came back as a successful millionaire and did a talk. Anyway, that's another story for another day. If I can do it, here's the point. If I can do it with no formal education, high school and a couple years of college, didn't graduate, I still get confused at traffic lights. If I can do it, you can do it too. I am nobody special. I'm a guy that would not give up on his dreams, his hopes, his desires, and I knew where my source came from. And as long as that source is with me, I cannot lose. All I got to do is every day put my foot forward in that direction that I want to go and bring other people with me. If I can do it, you can do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. The 8 laws of success, they work. They work. The question is, are you going to apply them? Makes a lot of sense, Mr. Thomas. The law of creating wealth has worked for me all these decades. Number 1, let's go back over. Number 1, the law of being an entrepreneur. Number 2, the law of starting something. Get started on something and learn. Number 3, the law of investing in who? You. In you. And number 4, the law of purpose. What's your purpose? What's your purpose? Why are you here? What's your assignment? Who are you helping? Who are you blessing? Number 5, the law of having mentors. I had 3 mentors. They were all billionaires. So if I had 3 billionaires, it makes sense why I'm where I'm at, right? Because I listen. Now, I could have 3 billionaires and not listen. Where would I be? But I listened and I studied them. Number 6, the law of a burning desire. Well, not just a desire, but a burning desire. And number 7, the law of enriching other people around you that is deserving of it. And number 7, the law of God's assistant. By the way, before we get off tonight, there's any questions or anybody has any questions they want to bring up tonight or that you want to ask? Any questions? All right, here's a question here. What steps can someone over the age of 50 do to create wealth? Well, here again, use what I just given you, the laws of what I just given you. Study. How you want to create wealth? First thing I'd say is go out and buy books that's going to help you create wealth, whether it's the stock market, crypto. I'm learning crypto. You're never too old. Let me tell you something. The day you go home to glory, it's too late. But while you're here, you must still have something to go do. So start studying in an area that you want to go into. That's what I would suggest you do. So books are very important. I'm an advocate. When I get a book, I get the book and I also get the audio because I like it all. I don't want to miss anything. I can hear a book and read it, and then I get audio, hear something else, but I want it all. They work if they could work. That's right. You just got to go to work and make it real. So study whatever it is you want to be in that arena. You know, that's what's important. I was reading about Reginald Lewis. He wanted to be, you know, a young black guy and brought up in the wrong part of tracks. And he got into law school and then went to Harvard. And became, I mean, just amazing story. I study successful people. I study successful people because why? I want to know what they did. I want to know what they did, when they did it, in that era they did it in. Principles, write this down. Principles don't change. What did Mary Kay say? Number one was what? What was number one? What was number one? What was number two? And what was number three? Number one was time management. Number two was what? Working hard. Number three is a strong tie to God. See, those things were in every leader, every book I read on biographies, these people did the same thing. They hard work. Strong belief in God. And they had their time, they didn't waste their time. That's another good book. Watch It All the White Guys Have All the Fun. Yeah, that's another book he came out with. Yeah, that's a great book. That's the one I read. You know, so you got to understand, you got to put the time in. Turn off the TV sets and focus in on time. Take an hour or two a day. I was telling a group earlier, you know, I'm learning Spanish. I take 2 walks a day. Some days I walk 3 times a day. And I got my Spanish in Espanol. I'm learning Spanish in the day, and I'm listening to Korean at night. Korean, yeah. Then try studying 2 languages at once. That's crazy, ain't it? But then again, I want to know. I could say, como se me da. I'm learning. Because when I meet people, watch this. When I meet people, I want to meet them where they're at. This morning I was taking a walk and I asked this young man, I said, hey, I always see you here. We're always waving at each other. I said, what nationality are you? What nationality are you? He said, I'm Filipino. I said, oh, como este ka? You know Filipino? I said, mabute, salamat po. He was shocked. Let me ask you a question. Could you meet other people in other nationalities and say a few words that they're impressed with, that they want to know who you are? And guess what? When I took my second walk today, he was, open your minds up. Learn, 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 learn. Go to Korean place, I can order a little bit in Korean now. Filipinos, I can talk a little Tagalog. What other language can you learn? Can you speak a little Spanish? What? I mean, think about it. That's important, folks, to be versatile in a world that is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. But can you communicate to other people? Or you just got blinders on, only see that one community? The world is a rainbow. Anyway, I just want to say thank everybody. We put the links in there for everybody for the books we showed tonight. I want to thank everybody tonight. Hard work, time management. That's right. And I'm gonna tell you something. You can make it in America. If you look, you can make it no matter what part of the world it is. You just got to put the time and effort in it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my plum pleasure. I hope you guys got a lot out of this today. I wanted to dive into something that has worked for me for over 36 years and continue working to this day. And I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. So if you can, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. And please, please, please leave a comment below so the algorithm can get it. And if not, also hit the bell notification so when the next one comes out, you'll be notified and get ready for it and call your friends and family and get them on here. And rewatch this over and over again and take notes. Because I actually watch my own videos and I take notes on how I can improve myself to get better. Ain't that crazy? Because why? School is never out for the what? Professional. Remember I said that? Hey, I want to thank every one of you out there all over the world watching tonight. Take care. God bless. We'll see you soon. And please hit the subscribe button, bell notification, leave a comment. All right. So we can drive the algorithm crazy. And we thank you for your time. And I hope you got blessed tonight. Take care. God bless. And as always, we'll see you at the top. Always see you over the top. Have a blessed evening. God bless. Bye-bye.